You know they setting you up, right? You know they setting y'all up, right? Just as long as you know they setting y'all up. Man, where am I going, man? Where am I going? As long as y'all know they setting y'all up. Good times, country cooking. Just as long as y'all know they setting y'all up. So check this out. So I posted a video, and on the video, I basically had the video of the little girl, you know, twerking, or trying to twerk on her father, a little 4-year-old girl, 3 or 4 years old. Now, I blurred out the little girl's face, so you never saw the little girl's face. But anyway, the video's going viral. The video's still up on other pages. The video's up on the dad's page. You know, all this stuff. What's up, Mary? You know, the video is up. But my video that I put up that's all blurred out is taken down. Now, I want you to think about that. The video's on the dad's page. The video's on other people's page. The child is not blurred out. On my video, everything is blurred out. You can't see nothing. What I want to tell you all is that the reason why my video got taken down is because my video is holding our people accountable. Because I was talking about the black culture being death culture. And that's why my video got taken down. I remember one time on YouTube, I did a video about how the music promotes violence in our community, and it got taken down. What I'm telling you all is that there's going to be a huge push to censor all content that holds melanated black people, African American, Moorish, Israelites, Jew, whatever you want to call yourself. There's going to be intense propaganda to keep you all from being accountable. That's what you all don't realize is that when they go against conservatives, they're actually going against what your people used to be. Now, I hear all the time that our people are conservative, but that's BS, because we have 1,000 abortions a day. So there's no way we're conservative. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I don't buy that nonsense. I don't buy that BS. We're not conservative. We promote, appreciate it, ultimate girlfriend. We don't believe in family. The notion that we're conservative is actually foolish. But to me, if you notice, just pay attention. Anytime you try to hold us accountable, there is always an excuse. I just heard a young lady say, you can be Democrat and conservative. How? It's impossible. The Democrats don't support conservative values. It's like the stuff that people say. But again, the conversation was about our people being held accountable for voting Democratic, even though we know it's detrimental to us. So what people will say is, oh, Republicans, Democrats are the same. The reason why they're making that statement is to keep voting Democrat. Nobody makes that statement to not vote. Nobody says they're both the same to not vote. People make that statement to keep voting Democrat. Again, we've been voting Democrat since 1936. And I tell people, the issue with the voting is not the actual votes. It's the mindset of the people. It's the mindset of what you call a black Democrat and what you call a black Republican. You don't know any broke black Republicans. You don't know any black Republicans that are broke. Most of the Democrats you know are poor. None of the black Republicans you know are poor. But because it's a mindset. It's a mindset. Forget the vote casting. It's a mindset with a Democrat and a Republican. The Democrats are a front for liberals. So there's no way a person could be conservative and Democratic. It's impossible. But you only say these types of things so you can keep voting Democrat. Anyway, my point is that they're setting you all up. It's a setup. And they're setting you up by telling you that you can't be held accountable. So like I did the video about the little girl and her father. In the video I talked about you know, being a father. I talked about intent. I talked about poor parenting. I talked about black culture. There was a whole lot of things uncovered in that video, and they took it down because what you ought to understand is holding us accountable is not a part of the plan. They want you all, just like I put a video up about from 2008 to 2016, there were 5,000 murders in Chicago, 5,000 murders of people in our community 30 and under. There were 5,000 murders of just people 30 and under in Chicago from 2008 to 2016, not 30 and up, just 30 and under. Now it's 5,000, and this one pastor, Pastor Manning, was saying there wasn't one march, there wasn't one protest. I'ma add, there wasn't one riot, there wasn't looting, there was nothing done about those 5,000 murders. But also in Chicago, there were 30 police homicides from 2008 to 2016. Yes, you heard me correctly. There were 30 police homicides. Over 95% of those homicides involved armed suspects, but there was 30 in 8 years, and y'all tore the streets up. I made a statement, people got upset, but I said black life doesn't matter to black people unless it's taken by a white person. I'll say it again. Black life doesn't matter to black people unless it's taken by a white person. Now, folks will argue that, but there have been many of children killed last year, many of children killed this year, but there hasn't been one march for it, one riot, no looting, none of that, no protesting. Literal babies being killed, and nobody has a problem with it. Nobody. And then you have a small group of people putting candles. We'll light candles. We'll put teddy bears and pictures up, but no action. Now think about how sick it is for you to demand justice when a white person does something to you, but when your own babies are being killed in your own neighborhoods, you don't demand anything of the leadership. But like I said before, it's a setup. It's a setup. I talked about even holding our women accountable. Black Girl Magic says that black women are magical just because they're black. No, forget character, forget principles, forget standards, forget morals, forget being a good woman, forget being a good wife, forget being a good helpmate, forget being a Proverbs 31 woman. Black women are magical simply because they're black. What type of message does that convey to the women in our community? There's no such thing as black boy magic. They tried black boy joy, but it sounded too alternative. It sounded too taste of the rainbow like. So black boy joy didn't last. But there's no propaganda for the men in our community. There's no propaganda, zero. There's zero propaganda pumping us up, building us up. All the feminist propaganda is pushed on our women, and our women accept it and take it. But I'm gonna say this again, the greatest problem in our community is that we hate the facts, but we despise the truth. If you don't believe me, all you gotta do is go to some random people in our community with some actual facts and statistics and see how they receive it. First, go to them with emotion, see what they do. They're gonna love it. Something that's based in something false and a lie, they're gonna love it. Come to them with actual facts, truths, data, statistics, and watch what happens. Look at this. Look at this getting over. Somebody said it's comedy in the message. I couldn't read it, but you can't hold black women accountable. If you don't believe me, just do it. If you don't believe me, just do it. If you don't believe me, ask any black woman, what are the things that black men do wrong? She will give you a list. Then ask her, what are the things that black women do wrong? And I guarantee you're going to hear crickets. I guarantee you. Society doesn't hold our women accountable. Society doesn't hold our women accountable. No, there's nowhere where our women get held accountable. Tell me. 1,000 abortions a day, 74% and up single mothers. Tell me where they're being held accountable. Tell me. If you're a single mother in the black community, you're a hero. If you're a thought in the black community, you're a hero. You're liberated. Like, tell me where our women get held accountable. Show me. Listen, right. So a lot of this stuff we'll talk about is low self-esteem, right? But the problem is the way to fix low self-esteem is to actually have real value in yourself. And you have to do something. What gives us confidence is us actually doing something. What builds self-esteem is actually doing something, because doing something creates your worth on this planet. Now, God loves everybody. So you got worth to God, but on this earth, you got to do something. But Black Girl Magic says, you're just great just for being black. And I get it, but that ain't real self-esteem building. That's not self-esteem building. That's witchcraft and sorcery. You telling somebody that they are great simply by the way that they look. And my point of this video is that the attack is on your people and my people being held accountable. So whether you want to be a Moor, whether you want to be an Israelite, whether you want to be black, whether you want to be African American, whether you want to be melanated, whether you want to be indigenous, it don't matter what label you put on the people, it will still boil down to black culture. Because black culture is going to ruin all of it. If you don't believe me, look and see at these organizations that do all this stuff and why they're never thriving. The NAACP is not for us. So give me an organization that we run that's thriving. Give me an organization that we run that's building up our community. Forget thriving. Give me one that's building up our community. You're not going to find it. You're not going to find it. Because in order to build our community up, you got to hold us accountable. You see, the elephant in the room is not racism. It's not white people. The elephant in the room is accountability. We don't want to be held accountable. And it's even deeper with our women, because the societal propaganda and doctrine works with our women, because our women grow up in single parent homes. So all that being independent, all that don't need a man, all that women rock, all that women are heroes, all that stuff works in our community the most, because the men aren't present like they should be. So at the end of the day, I always ask people, when is it going to be our fault? Tell me, if it's always white people's fault, if it's always white people's fault, then consequently, that means white people will always rule over us. Because if white people are the problems, then they are also the solution. So what you've done is you put yourself in a permanent state of servitude. This is why I don't listen to all that you oppressed talk. Because if you're oppressed, you won't have any self-esteem. If you're oppressed, you won't have any self-esteem. They playing y'all. They tricking y'all. Lil Boosie just said there's 3,000 rappers in a neighborhood. So it's not about talent. If you look at the music industry now, and I'm telling you now, they're going to kick us out of the music industry. Because the rap, listen to me, everything that we are doing, that you all are trying to avoid, is going to hit you when you least expect it. Because they're going to use all the stuff that's going on that y'all are avoiding to say why you all need to go back into slavery. I'm telling you, I know it sounds bad, I know it sounds terrible, but all the stuff you're doing not only has a physical consequence, but it also has a spiritual consequence. So we got to answer to the universe, and we got to answer to God. I'm telling you. And y'all gonna be sick. And y'all gonna come back to these videos. You're gonna say, dang, he was right. How did he know? I'm telling you now what they're gonna do. These people are giving you attention. They're not trying to make you better. They can only make you better by telling you the truth. Because the truth shall set you free, but there's two parts to the truth. It's hearing the truth, and then there's accepting the truth. Our problem is we hear the truth and despise it. We hear the truth and despise the truth. We despise it. If you don't believe me, try to hold a black person accountable. If you don't believe me, try to hold a black person accountable with the truth. And see what happens. See what happens. See what happens. All these people that want to make society a certain way, they're going to use you. You are going to be the litmus test for what society will become. So what black culture is, eventually all of society will be like that. And you all know black culture is deaf culture, so you can imagine if everybody acted like black people, how bad America would be. If everybody adopted black culture, how bad America would be. That means everybody would be killing their own. They wouldn't have any economic infrastructures. There wouldn't be any unity. There wouldn't be any common goals. You couldn't hold them accountable. Just imagine if everybody acted like us. Thank God everybody doesn't. And you all do know, once white people, listen, Joe Biden told you all that you got to go to the Hispanics to get what you want. And you do realize that white people kind of halfway fool with us. The Hispanics won't at all. The Asians won't at all. The immigrants won't at all. The immigrants won't at all. So I'm just letting you know, so everybody's like, yeah, get rid of white people. The Hispanics, the Asians, and the immigrants, even the Africans, won't fool with y'all at all. You all think white folks are bad. Wait to see how they treat you. Okay, don't wait. Look and see how they treat you now. Do the Asians hire you? Do the Hispanics hire you? Do the Africans hire you? How do they treat you now? So if white people leave, we're screwed. The only people that hire us are white people first, then each other. So if white people leave or get their power stripped, you're done. You're finished. Because other races are not going to hire you. They're not going to empower you. There won't be any programs. Because other races will say, y'all are doing this stuff to each other, and they won't be lying. And they won't be lying. So, what I'm telling you all is they setting you up. They setting you up. A nation's morality rests in the woman. Nobody had a problem with anybody great making that statement. But if I say that the nation is a reflection of the women, it's a problem because I'm talking about our women, and you can't hold them accountable. I'm just telling you. A lot of folks get upset. You know, I get it, but this is the truth. Boosie said it's a 3,000 rappers in a neighborhood, so it's not about talent. No. What is it about for a rapper? It's image. Who can be the hardest? Who can be the craziest? Who can kill the most? It's not even about talent no more. It's about a negative reinforced image. Like, y'all, do y'all see what's going on? And all these white people, listen, and all these white liberals keep getting on TV saying Trump, they keep talking about Trump. Listen, man, Trump is going to be, listen, it's going to be 10 years from now, and y'all going to be in camps and on reservations that's worse than the Native American reservations, and they still be talking about Trump. Still. We have completely, because black culture gets you to idol worship, first of all, And black culture says that white people are above God. Why does it say that? Because black culture says that everything is white people's fault. If everything is white people's fault, then that means white people are your God. So even in the black church, they put racism above God. There's songs that we shall overcome someday. When? Why is the we shall overcome song so popular if it doesn't give you a definite time and day? So we love black pain, anguish, suffering, because in all those things, you'll have to be accountable. The reason why we love the struggle so much is because in the struggle, you don't have to be accountable. And I know I'm talking right now. I know I'm talking. I know y'all don't want to hear it, you know, but I know I'm telling the truth. So it is what it is. But try to hold somebody black accountable and see what happens. Try to hold a black woman accountable and see what happens. Try to hold these liberals accountable and see what happens. Now you see the connection. The liberals, black culture, black women, all the same, cannot be held accountable. I'm telling you. And they setting y'all up. I go to places in the black neighborhood, these folks saying they gotta wear masks to come in there and buy alcohol, buy cigarettes, get some gas. They making y'all wear the mask. Y'all better get the jab for your people. Vote for your ancestors. Get the jab to fight against medical racism. You go to the white neighborhoods, they ain't making them white folks put that mask on. They trying y'all. They putting the pressure on y'all because they know they can do it, but they told you you were oppressed. And if you're oppressed, you don't have any self-esteem. I'm gonna say it again. If you are oppressed, you don't have any self-esteem. You can't hear, I'm oppressed, America's racist, white people have privilege, white supremacy your whole life and not have low self-esteem. It's no different than me telling a child, everybody else in the house is better than you. That's literally what they tell you every day, the white liberals. Everybody in the house is better than you. It's impossible for that child to have low self-esteem. So on a national level, the white liberal media, because the media is 99% Democratic, the movies, Democratic, liberal, the commercials, Democratic, liberal, the TV shows, Democratic, liberal. You don't believe me? Look at all the popular shows and tell me, what does it reflect? So all the propaganda, the media, influence, entertainment, it's all liberal and Democratic, all of it. When they put a vote, when they tell you to vote on TV, they tell you to vote Democratic. But what you all to mess around and did was you all to mess around and let these Hispanics rise above you and these Asians. Now it's over. It's a done deal. It would have to be something drastic to happen next year, in 2024, for you all to make some kind of change, but you all don't have enough character to do it. Because black culture said you can't be held accountable. Talking about Django, yeah, Stevie. So if you look at it in Django, Django comes in on that horse, and the person that was most upset, think about it, the person most upset about Django on the horse was Stevie. Stevie was the person that was the most upset with Django on a horse. Why? Because he was jealous? No. You see, we think he did it because he was jealous and he was a sellout. That's not why he was upset. Stevie was upset because the image of him on a horse prevents him from pushing a narrative. So the image of successful melanated people in America that are conservative, that image, it threatens what the liberals and Democrats can do. It threatens their message. So they need you disenfranchised. They need you impoverished. That's why they always go to the black church. You don't never see them appealing. You don't ever see Democrats appealing to conservative black America. And it's because conservative black America is Django on that horse. I don't care whether you're Democrat or Republican, but we got to agree that you haven't seen any broke black Republicans. You've only seen successful black Republicans. So because it's a mindset. So Stevie sees him on that horse and he says, if these slaves see him on that horse, they won't listen to me. And I'm the one keeping everybody in line. I'm the one convincing them that Monsieur Candy, scraps from the table, is a blessing for us. That message has to be conveyed to our people. So you need, is calling me. You need people like the Boule. You need the Boule to keep us in line. So Stevie in that movie represented the Boule. You see when he went, listen, when Monsieur Candy came to meet with Stevie, Stevie had everything already set up in the room. He had his drink prepared. He was sipping his drink. He said, they playing you. Who was in control of the plantation? Stevie. Who runs the prison? The inmates. If the inmates decide enough is enough, the prison gets shut down. So what I'm telling you all is, there's a group of people that look just like you that are holding you back. All the Until Freedom people, BLM, any kind of organization that is fighting for your rights is working and funded by white liberals. Anybody you see on TV talking about America's racists, talking about power to the people, talking about no justice, no peace, talking about we gotta rise. Anybody talking that talk is getting paid by a white liberal. Because you know and I know the only thing that can free someone is the truth. That is the only thing. So when they get up there talking about you being black and you being oppressed and white this and that, there is a white liberal putting money in their pocket. I know you don't want to hear it. I know it sounds bad, but everybody talking about America's racists is on the payroll. I'm just telling you. None of those people are fighting for you. What they say, it sounds good. But I bet if they went to court, they couldn't prove it. I bet if they had to go to court and prove systemic racism, if they had to go to court and prove systemic racism, they couldn't do it. Somebody said LeBron James. LeBron James said he's oppressed. How can LeBron James, worth probably $1 billion, be oppressed? It doesn't even, it absolutely sounds, I have a friend of mine, she's white. She makes a joke to a guy, and he said he tells her, I make $1 million a year. Now he's telling her this, melanated man, he's telling her because he wants to get with her. So he's telling her this, and she says, well, I guess you're not oppressed. And this dude said, yes, he is oppressed. Now this dude said he makes $1 million a year and he's oppressed. He's the top 1% in the world and said he's oppressed. How could you be oppressed and be a millionaire? It doesn't even make any sense. If America was truly racist and systemically racist, it wouldn't allow anyone to look like you to be rich. But he said not only was he oppressed, but that her people were holding him down. It's a setup. Anybody talking about America's racist, anybody talking about they fighting for your rights is working for the system. They are getting literally, listen to me, they are getting literally paid by a white liberal. Literally. It is a white liberal cashing a check. Because if it was really a true message, they wouldn't be able to speak it. Isn't it funny how all these people that talk about how America's racist, all these people fighting for you, they never get their account taken down. They never get shadow banned. They never get any kind of pressure. How are these people speaking against the system and the system isn't bothering them? Then you got somebody like me that they call a sellout. I get my accounts taken, shadow banned, all kind of stuff. Badges taken, all kind of stuff. Explain it to me. Can someone explain how I get all the scrutiny and I'm the sellout? I don't get paid. I get accounts taken down. I get shadow banned. I get all these things happen to me. But the people that are fighting against the system actually get supported by the system. And we gotta agree. If Nike is in on the freedom movement and the woke movement, we gotta admit, when corporate America gets involved, like Netflix and Amazon, when all these folks get involved in your movement, you know it's compromised, right? You know it's compromised, right? My message that I say is the most dangerous message. It's the most dangerous one because I speak about accountability. I speak about individual accountability. Then I speak about cultural accountability. My message is the most dangerous message. As soon as I start speaking, the first thing they'll say is, he's a sellout. Because they want you to not listen to me. They'll say, he's a Trump supporter. He's a sellout. He's a coon. So you won't listen to me. There's a reason why they just throw it out there. Think about everything I say, but can't nobody pinpoint where I've sold out. And second of all, why ain't nobody cutting the check? How am I selling out? Ain't nobody cutting the check. All your favorite woke activists, all your favorite people out there marching, protesting, rioting, looting for your rights, why is the system allowing them to do it? Do you think that the government would allow me to have 1 million man march of conservative, God-fearing men? Do you think that your system would allow me to have 1 million man march of conservative, God-fearing men? Men talking about economically empowering their community. Men talking about being fathers. Men talking about getting married. Do you think they let me do that? That's the true threat. That's the real, what these folks is talking about, it ain't real. These folks can't prove systemic racism in court. They've never been able to. They can't prove it. Because when America was truly racist, we saw it. You couldn't go here, you couldn't do that. It was in your face. Now y'all telling me it's behind the scene. No. If that was the case, Kaepernick wouldn't have his own ice cream. When have you seen a real activist in our community get their own ice cream? And y'all don't think it's a setup? They would never give me an ice cream. What would they call it? Accountability cookies and cream? What would they call it? If I had it, they wouldn't give me ice cream. Because what I stand for. I tell you all that you can do it. I tell you all that you are wonderfully and fearfully made. I tell you all that you are more than conquerors. That's what I tell you all. So there's no way they're going to let that message get on a global scale. Why would they? They'll let all these fake BLM, fake black activist leaders do. They'll let them talk all day because it's a part of the matrix. They took my video down because of what I said. I was holding us accountable. I said black culture is deaf culture. Black culture is deaf culture because black is deaf and black is to be not of God. God didn't make, we were made in God's image, not a color. Us being a color is us being made in man's image. I'm going to say it again. We were made in God's image. Us being a color is us being made in man's image. All they did was get you to not be of God, to not be the image of God. And along with being black came black culture, came the destruction of our people. And black culture is going to be our undoing. And there will come a time, right when we wake up and realize it's going to be too late. Y'all going to be screaming, you were right, it's going to be too late. Not for me, for y'all. Not for me. I abandoned black last year. I'm done with it. I'm done. Y'all can't cancel me. I'm done. You can't cancel me, though. I'm speaking God's truth. You can't cancel me. Y'all won't be canceled because you don't want to be accountable. It's not honorable. That's why you're not going to ever win. Y'all are going to lose because you don't have any honor. You don't do things with honor and integrity. That's why you guys are going to lose. You're not going to win because you think, because you feel oppressed, it justifies you working with Satan. It doesn't. You think because you feel oppressed that it justifies you working with Satan, and it doesn't. You know what? Let me go somewhere else, get something. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, let me go get something to eat over here, man. I'm trying to figure out what I wanted, man. Trying to figure out what I wanted. Yeah, I might. But anyway, what was I saying? I'm trying to figure out what I want. Do I want that? Anyway, so yeah, it's a setup though. And it's a setup because, and it's just common sense. It just, if you're not emotional, you can see through all this stuff. This stuff only works because you're emotional. If you're not emotional, none of this stuff works. It just doesn't work. You know, and like I said, it's about you being accountable. That's the true attack on our community. So, you know, Amber Rose can have a slut. This is why we work in conjunction with the LGBTQP community, because they used your oppression that you felt like, they used your inferiority complex, they used your emotionalism, and they just rode your wave. That's how they're going to be able to do your movement. Because pretty soon, they're going to say it's harder being LGBTQ than it is being black. I'm just telling you what they're going to do. They're going to get on TV and say there's no more racism, but there still is discrimination against the LGBTQP community. Don't forget X, Y, and Z. So man, you gonna make me go to that place then, man. But yeah, I'm just telling you all. You know, I'm just telling you all what it is. So that's the setup. That's all I want to talk about today, was just the setup, and you all just waking up and wisening up and realizing it's all a setup for you all. If the people out there were really fighting against the system, they wouldn't allow them to do it. We have people getting killed. Ain't nobody getting assassinated. Matter of fact, there ain't nobody getting assassinated to the point where y'all are making the rappers like they Malcolm X and MLK. That's how desperate we are. Y'all making the rappers the martyrs. That's how desperate we are as a people. That's how desperate. It's just funny to me. If any rapper says something woke, I'm talking about remotely woke. If a rapper says something remotely woke, like they putting GMO in the foods and then they get killed, y'all gonna say they killed them because they're going against the system. Like, we desperate. We are desperate for a savior and a hero. But I can almost assure you this: Yeshua is not coming back. Yeshua is not coming back until the people are ready. That means when the people that are here say that we're going, enough's enough, and we're about to wage war against this beast system, that's when Yeshua will come back. Because that will be an act of faith. And it is impossible to please God without faith. So if y'all waiting for a savior, the way y'all acting, savior ain't coming. So y'all want to get saved doing wrong. Nah, you only get saved being righteous, doing what's right. You only get saved going against the system. You don't get saved knowing what's wrong. That's what you all think, that you the chosen people. So this is to all my Moors, all my chosen people, all my Israelites, all my melanated people, all my black people, African Americans, all my colors, Negroes, whatever you want to call yourself, indigenous, whatever you want to call yourself. What I'm telling you is that it will still boil down to character, and we will still have to fight the demons of black culture. So no matter what plan anybody has, I don't care what plan they got, it's still going to boil down to the character of the people. It will still boil down to the character of the people. Yeah, right. So Ben Carson, and it's crazy because most parents in our community would have their children want to be George Floyd and Ben Carson. Think about it. Ben Carson is one of the leading brilliant minds in the world. This man he's one of the leading brilliant minds in the world, literally changed medicine. Literally. Ben Carson is not just a national treasure, but a global treasure, and we treat him like he's trash. But we make a statue of George Floyd, and we don't think we got to pay for that. Hold on. Y'all don't think y'all going to have to pay for condemning Ben Carson, someone that is a global treasure to this planet in the field of medicine, and making statues of George Floyd and murals and painting them as hold up. Y'all painting George Floyd as Yeshua and then condemning Ben Carson, and you think you don't have to pay for that? Hold up. Do y'all honestly believe you don't have to pay for that? What y'all doing to Ben? It's disgusting. Y'all gonna pay for that. You gonna pay for that. You let these white liberals tell y'all who's racist and who's not, and y'all, listen, I keep telling you all, the same white liberals that are pandering to you all, they're gonna get on TV and tell you there's no more racism. What they'll really be telling you is that from now on, everything you do is on you. And guess what? You all will not be ready for it. You all will not be ready for it. You won't. I'm sorry. You won't. But I digress. I know that when it comes to our community, it's hard holding us accountable because our culture isn't centered around God. It's not centered around the Most High. So it's almost impossible. So I'll say this. It's impossible to love yourself if you don't hold yourself accountable. And it's impossible to love God if you don't love yourself. Let me say it again. It's impossible to love yourself if you don't hold yourself accountable. And it's impossible to love God if you don't love yourself. You see, accountability is love. Responsibility is love. Character is love. Character is first love for self, then second is love for God. But we think because we feel oppressed, we're exempt from all these things. We think we're exempt from reaping and sowing. We think we're exempt from cause and effect. We think we're exempt from all these things because we feel oppressed. That is a trick of the enemy. That is the devil telling you that. You don't have to be accountable because you're oppressed. That is a setup. That's a setup. Because they know if these people aren't accountable, then it's impossible for them to be godly. It's impossible for them to be righteous. It's a setup. That's the whole setup. That's the whole game right there. I posted a video of this man with his daughter dancing on him. I blurred everything out. You couldn't see the daughter. I blurred you did not see the daughter's body or face. All you saw was shadows, and the video got taken down, and I know who reported it. My own people reported it because I said this is a product of black culture, because black culture says you can play music that brainwashes you to your children. I put the lyrics up of the song that was playing when the little girl was dancing. I put the lyrics up. Lyrics were disgusting. All pornographic lyrics. I said, these are the lyrics playing as the girl is dancing. She's 4 years old. So I know I got the video taken down. It wasn't inappropriate imagery. It was what I was saying, because the video is viral. We see videos of people being murdered on IG. There's a video right now that's viral of Slim 400 getting shot. There's a viral video right now showing Slim 400 getting shot. Getting shot. And nobody is taking it down. So you mean to tell me I have a video talking about holding us accountable and it gets taken down, and a video of a rapper getting gunned down at his girlfriend's house gets to stay up, and y'all want to convince me that it's not a setup? Y'all want to convince me it's not a setup? No, we can't do that. Can't do that. It's a setup. If they can get y'all to not be accountable, they can get you all to be ungodly. I came down the wrong street, man. Goodness. Goodness. All this traffic. Came down the wrong street. If they can get you to not be accountable, they can get you to be ungodly. So when I say things like they can't hold black women accountable, just give it 20 years. Yeah, hold up. And shot by his own people. And shot by his own people. And shot by his own people. Gunned down like a dog. Shot by his own people. Gunned down like a dog. Did nobody say nothing? Ain't no protests. Ain't no marches. Ain't no rioting. Ain't no looting. Don't nobody care. Had it been a white man, though, had a white man walked to that man, kill him like that, y'all would have went crazy. But that lets me know you feel inferior. Because you only find value in black life when a white person takes it. You only found value in a black celebrity when a white person endorses them. I'm telling you how the game works. Y'all only respect what white people respect. You do. White liberals. White liberals and white Jews. Y'all only respect what they respect. That's it. If they don't endorse it, y'all don't. So white liberals had to say, Ben Carson ain't for y'all to condemn him. Same with Clarence Thomas. And really all it is them wanting you to be black. Go, if you don't believe me, go tell your white liberal friends that's woke. Go tell all your people, go tell your conscious folks, tell them you're not black. Explain to them how black is a status. Explain to them how if you look up, black is something made up, it's not real, so cut it, all that. And then tell them if they accept you not being black. These folks will fight to keep you black, especially them white liberals. Especially them white liberals. They will fight to keep you black. Fight. They'll fight. Trust me. Tell these people you're not black. We used to say, judge the person by the content of their character. How many folks really believe it though? Honestly, I'm be real with y'all. Many of y'all couldn't even function in a world where your color doesn't matter. That's why most of you all never leave this country. Most of y'all don't leave the country because you know when you go somewhere else, nobody care about you being black. Y'all know that. Nobody cares about you all being black when you go to other countries. They don't care. They care about you being American. You see, y'all will make money over here and go live somewhere else and then tell us over here how the country's better than America. No, it's not. Make they money over there and live over there. Don't use American money. Make they money over there and tell me how much you love the country. You wouldn't do it. Make that country's money over there and stay over there and tell me how much you love it. You wouldn't do it. You wouldn't do it. All these folks capping. I'm telling y'all, anybody out there talking about racism is working for the system. My message is the one that gets censored, not them. I can be BLM, all this stuff, and then nobody gonna say nothing. My message of accountability for our people is what gets censored. I get censored, not the woke people. I get censored. The woke folks ain't getting censored, it's me. He a sellout. Now think about it. Why is nobody debating me? Why does nobody ever debate me with stats and facts? Why does nobody ever say you're lying? Nobody ever says, Blanche, you're lying. Why is that? Why is that? Nobody ever says you lying. They say, oh, you this, you that, but they never say I'm lying. They attack my person, never what I'm actually saying, though. Because you see, they're like, how dare you have the audacity to even talk like that? It's the wrong street. Am I going the wrong way? Ooh, I think so. Ooh, let me go this way. I think so. I gotta get off pretty soon. I can use my map quest. But yeah, they never say I'm lying, though. They don't say I'm lying. Listen, I done lost family and friends behind telling the truth. And you want to tell me that black culture is not deaf culture? I've lost family and friends from telling the truth. Do you know what that means? That means we're finished. But they're going to get on TV and they're going to tell you there's no more racism. They're going to get on TV and tell you that everybody was a slave. I'm telling you what they're going to do. They're going to get on TV and say that everybody qualifies for reparations, so you all can't get any. Listen, I'm telling you all what they're going to do because the true history reflects all this stuff. Don't know it because you're emotional. You're too emotional. You don't know it because you're emotional. I know the real history. I'll be looking at this stuff, man. Everybody owned slaves. People got enslaved. Lynchings even started out with whites and Mexicans. That's where lynching started, with whites and Mexicans. Listen, man, y'all, I'm telling you all, many of you all could not function in a world where nobody cared about you being black, but that world is soon approaching because the Hispanics ain't gonna care about it, the Asians ain't gonna care about it, and the immigrants won't care about it, and the white liberals won't either. Everybody's gonna turn on y'all. I'm telling you what they're gonna do. They're gonna turn on y'all. I'm telling you. Nobody is sympathetic to your cause. Nobody. Nobody comes over here and says, you know what? Y'all really getting mistreated. Them folks come over here and literally start businesses. Them folks have a life over here and they send their folks money back home. That's how great America is. They can take care of 2 families at one time for them. I think I gotta turn this way, right? I think turn this way. I think. Yeah. At the end of the day, though, they setting y'all up. And they punking y'all too, because they're making y'all wear their mask in the urban areas. They forcing y'all to do it. They ain't giving y'all no option, and y'all compliant. The liquor store got the audacity to hold y'all. The liquor store got the audacity to hold y'all accountable. I saw one thing. It was the club in Houston, making y'all get COVID tests before you went to the club. They punking y'all. Yep. Because they know y'all ain't gonna buck. They got y'all hung up on voting rights and police brutality. You don't know anybody, y'all don't know anybody that wants to vote and can't. Y'all don't know anybody that wants to vote and can't. Nobody. You don't know y'all ain't know nobody got killed by the police. Oh man, they closed? What? Oh man. Dang, they closed at 3 today. That's crazy. Oh, man. Oh, man. Well, all right, y'all. I'm done for the day. I love y'all. And y'all be blessed. And if you make it your fault, the solution rests in you. If you make it somebody else's fault, you're going to be a slave to their solution. I like that. Let me say that again. If you make it your fault, the solution rests in you. If you make it someone else's fault, you'll be a slave to their solution. All right, I love y'all. Thank you.